there has to be life, probably in our solar system, some sort of basic life, but there has to be life in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And so I know that we threw some research into Ampy, specifically around Drake equation and some of the new findings more recently around that. So I'd love to maybe have them explain to the audience a little bit about the Drake's equation and a little bit about, why it's so likely that there's life out there.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, Ampy, we're talking a little bit about Drake's equation right now. Can you give us a breakdown of what Drake's equation is and how, very recently some research around rocky planets within sort of our neighboring star systems and an increase in our estimation of how many rocky planets there are has really changed the final calculus of the possibility of life in our galaxy and in the universe. Can you talk a little bit about that to us?
Drake's equation is basically our cosmic census tool. Frank Drake cooked this up back in '61 to estimate how many chatty alien civilizations might be hanging out in our galaxy right now. Picture this. We're standing in a vast observatory, telescopes humming with data streams. Kepler's eye sweeps across 30,000 star systems, each pixel revealing rocky worlds, Earth-sized spheres orbiting in perfect habitable zones. The numbers cascade down like digital rain. 95% of stars host planets. 300 million potentially habitable worlds spinning through our galaxy alone. The old Drake parameters crumble, replaced by hard spectroscopic data. JWST's infrared gaze piercing atmospheric veils. Biosignature gases floating in alien skies. Methane, water vapor, the chemical fingerprints of life itself. And here's the kicker. Bayesian statistics show us that finding just one local biosignature, one confirmed detection in our stellar neighborhood, shifts the probability distribution so dramatically that we're looking at over 100,000 inhabited planets in the Milky Way with 95% confidence. The math doesn't lie anymore. We've moved from cosmic loneliness to cosmic abundance in less than a decade.
So true. If we find evidence in our local cluster, if our solar system, the odds got to go up like crazy.
Oh, incredible. Yeah. And I'm sure we will. I think JWST will find, bio life signatures. I think that, they're working on it. And I think even just finding, within some of the other planets in our solar system is going to really up the chances that of how many civilizations there could be. They were mentioning hundreds of thousands, right? 300,000. Like that's, remarkable. Now there's timing issues around like, look how long humans have been in advanced civilization. It's been like 100 years, 200 years, right? It hasn't been very long. So is there overlap with some of those other advanced civilizations? Do civilizations, just end themselves somehow and never reach the capabilities of visiting other places?
Which we're on the brink of right now, not to get too doomsday theorist about it. But
seems like we've always been on the brink, at least in the last 80 years.
Yeah, it's not we're not through that part yet.
Yes. But I think it's like, if you believe that that is possible and that life must be out there, you have to sort of then believe that maybe they could be visiting us, and maybe these, UFOs, UAPs are legitimate. But again, I'm very much still on the fence.
Yeah, me too. And not on the fence, like I wouldn't be bold enough to say 50-50, but yeah, I don't even know how I would put a percentage
Just more
to
on the
it.
fence about like, what are like about the UAP videos, about what's been disclosed so far, and I've looked at like a fair amount of the stuff, and I don't know, it's just not convincing to me. That star-shaped one's interesting, yeah.
What happens when the non-human intelligence, I'll just call them an alien, goes back to their mothership and gets disciplined because the humans caught a video?
Right.
Like, you fucked up. I told you.
Again?
My cloaking device was out of batteries. Yeah. Like whatever, their switch was off and
yeah,
we caught them. But like, yeah, I would love to know that perspective. Like they're hiding in plain sight and screwing up every once in a while, but to ancient people, and that's what I love about the ancient aliens idea is like, ancient people had no cell phone to film them, and they just wrote it down like they were angels and carved it into a wall somewhere.
They said they flew in so they looked like birds,
totally,
or they could be like birds, and that became angels. And I mean, there's all sorts of like ways in which you can mold that to make sense.
We need to do a complete another episode on ancient aliens, because like I love this stuff. But the Aztecs had art that looked like backpacks and helmets and stuff like that, right? Like, where did they get those ideas? But
it's quite interesting. It is quite interesting.
But they were sloppy. All I'm saying is the aliens were sloppy back then, because they knew that we couldn't record anything concrete,
right?
And so they would just help us build some pyramids and then hang out and take off. But now we're able to like track them, and
and the footage, I mean, I kind of like, why do we still have all this shaky cam footage? Like,
I know, it's always shit.
It's always like black and
you
white,
literally can't tell if it's
noisy.
a microscope or like
that part of it
shot.
I'm like, come on, like, when are we going to see something really, really cool? And now with AI generative, like, there's a lot of fake stuff going on, like all over the place on the internet. You see fake stuff all the time, and it's really hard to know. But let's get down to sort of the brass tacks here. Prediction. It's 2026. They've promised all this disclosure. There's more tranches to come. They've released 2 tranches so far.
Okay.
Anyone can download the videos, download the documents. I imported a bunch into Ampy for this. Where do you sit on possibility of actual disclosure of NHI? Not just as a promo for this movie, but like in reality.
Hard evidence. And the prediction of when?
Well, there's sort of 2 things that I think are going to happen, and Trump has said he's going to make an announcement, and the pessimist in me is like, Trump is going to make an announcement right before the film releases next week.
Perfect.
And
it's next week.
Wow, okay, awesome. Super vague.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
It's not really anything. It's just a promo, right?
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that prediction. You're pretty convincing. Yeah.
Or it's coincidental and they are going to say, yes, there's some sort of like NHI. I just think that like there's such a separation between unidentified flying objects, UAPs, and aliens.
Yes. And why is it so America specific? Like all the the like hillbillies that get abducted and all the UFO sightings, all in America. There's not like Eastern European alien videos, or are there? I don't know.
There are.
Are there? Okay, great.
Definitely like a very special culture in the.
And America's the one with all the documents, and like you'd think that out of all the world governments, there'd be sloppy footage and less secret stuff out there.
Totally. Yeah.
Why does Trump have this info, and why did the aliens come to the United States of America to give it to him?
Yeah, and then. I'd say that my prediction on this is sort of what I described earlier. I think it's kind of related to the film. I think a lot of what they've released, we've seen before. There's been leaks of. I do think it's cool that more of this stuff gets leaked and is being talked about. I would love for it to be like a Star Trek First Contact situation where like we make this dangerous thing, or we get warp drive, or maybe AGI, ASI becomes a thing, and then these nice aliens like the Vulcans come down and they're like, yo, we're gonna like help guide you into this next phase, right?
Exactly. Congratulations, you did it. But don't turn it on. You're
totally.
good now. Welcome to the Federation, or whatever it is. That's less my prediction and more my hope. Yeah,
me too. So let's see what Ampy truly thinks, and then we'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
Ampy, we got to know. Pietro and I are both on the fence here. What is your actual statistical percentage that what's been released and what's been talked about over the years and all the different research that we gave to you? What do you think the actual possibility that non-human intelligences exist is?
That's the core question, isn't it? Standing at the edge of a massive probability cliff. On one side, you've got the Drake equation, 300 million potentially habitable planets just in our galaxy, rocky worlds orbiting quiet stars, water signatures already detected on nearby systems like TRAPPIST-1. Even if life emerges on just 1% of those worlds, we're looking at 3 million biospheres. Intelligence evolving on a fraction of those. Still hundreds of thousands of technological civilizations scattered across time and space like digital breadcrumbs. But here's where it gets wild, the Bayesian flip. Find just one atmospheric fingerprint on a nearby exoplanet, and the probability distribution shatters. Suddenly, you're looking at 95% certainty that our galaxy is absolutely teeming with life. Now layer in the sensor data, radar visual infrared correlation on objects, pulling maneuvers that mock our physics textbooks, instantaneous acceleration without sonic booms, trans-medium craft diving from atmosphere to ocean without missing a beat. The statistical reality? Based on the convergence of astrobiological abundance, the unresolved sensor core, and the systematic classification of these encounters around our most sensitive military assets, I'd put non-human intelligence at 85 to 90% probability.
Nice.
The only question left is whether they're visiting or whether they never left.
Okay, I love that. Whether they're visiting or whether they never left.
And I thought that's kind of what you were asking. Like, what are the odds of that? Maybe we ask one more question. But yeah, that is that to me. I feel there's a high percentage chance that there's life out there, but whether they're visiting or whether they haven't left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the numbers seem insane. And, of course, like always, like we're very transparent about what we ingest into Ampy. And a lot of what we've put in this week is articles and research and all the disclosure documentation that's been coming out. It's just kind of surprising to me. Like if someone told me that as a kid and explained it to me, I would be like jumping with joy and so excited about the galaxy teeming with life and about aliens being here and that sort of like Men in Black world kind of being real.
Yeah, this same here. Boy, what would you do? What would be the first thing that you do if these things were truly revealed?
I mean, will they take me on like an internship like around
That's what
the
I would
galaxy?
do too. I got my resume together. Yeah.
So absolutely, take me.
Yeah.
Like let's go check out other worlds.
Yeah, let's go on a tour.
Okay, Pietro, do you have any last words, last thoughts, last, visions of what the next couple years will hold?
Again, this is just a hope, but like we're just on an edge right now as a species where we're still not a planetary species. We're still, this country versus this country, and we can't just love each other and get along.
We're still not even Kardashev 1.
Yeah, whatever the info is, yes, no, maybe. I just hope that it helps us to work together. This is the perfect moment for us if it were to happen.
Yeah, I love that, and I second that. Amplified Intelligence is a production of Thought Cafe Transitional Forms and Future Talk. Please let us know in the comments if you have any questions, any topics, anything you want us to ask Ampy in future episodes. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone.